Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE. Now, I've got some shipping updates added to the website. Our terms and conditions and everything are changing due to the previous unit getting damaged and is basically getting screwed over on the shipment and the insurance. I'll have a video of that coming soon. I've actually got a video of the Super Nintendo unit that's there waiting to be collected. I've got a video of that to upload tonight. I'm waiting on the gold ball tops for this unit. I've got some red ones on there at the minute, but I want to take some nice pictures with the gold ball tops on and do a full video of that unit. They're meant to be here today. It's 2 o'clock, so I'm still waiting in for those. So then, with the shipping, everything's changing. The terms and conditions have changed slightly. I will update them. There's a few things I may have misworded it on the web page, but that's all on the home page at the moment. I'm gonna have to start making customers liable for the shipments. I can supply the goods. I'm gonna have to maybe make customers responsible for getting these goods shipped out. Now, I do have a shipping company all lined up. I've been speaking with them on the phone this morning. I've spoke to their UK department, which UK is fine. At the moment, UK seems to be fine, but I will get my UK customers as well as booking in with this company or a company of their choice, and getting things insured. Now, when it comes to insurance, I'll make sure these units are wrapped up correctly and palleted correctly to the right dimensions and everything else. There may be an extra cost, especially on large units going out the country, for the crates themselves. They're going to have to be put in some sort of crate, laid down. May even have to take the PC parts out and ready to plug in when the customer gets it. It's just to make everything extra secure leaving, because you're paying between 3 and 4 grand for a high-end system, or 2.5 to 3 grand for a system, and it's getting destroyed. You're potentially losing money. I am definitely losing money. I've just literally lost 4 grand the other day there because of all this palaver. So I don't want to have to be losing money. I'm basically building machines for nothing if they are getting damaged. It doesn't always happen. It's happened a lot more lately than it has done in the past, and I don't want to be stung by it myself. I'm happy to build machines all day, and I'm happy to send them all over the world. United States, all over the shop. For the smaller units, it's not too much of an issue. I have had a couple of smaller units damaged, but there will be changes on the smaller units when they're getting shipped out. I'm going to put packaging on the inside as well. On the GPUs as well, we've started putting L brackets on and cable tying them so they're in solid. They can't come out unless they really get knocked around. But the new shipping company that we are dealing with, I've spoke to them through full length extent of their policies, restrictions, and every possible thing you can imagine. I've gone through on the phone with them, and everything seems to sound good through them. So basically you would be insured for your item. Don't know how long that would take if there was to be damaged. Obviously insurance claims aren't always straightforward. So they did mention something, I can't remember the name of it, but it basically makes, I can book it in, it can be booked. I can send an invoice to you, the customer. I can wrap, pallet the unit, whichever way you pay to have it wrapped up. I can have it all wrapped up, then it would be basically booked in your name when you purchase it. When you arrange the shipping, it'll all be booked through you. You can book it through the company. I'm not 100% sure exactly how it works, but it's on those lines. Basically it's booked, but it's all booked in the customer's name. So if anything does go wrong, then the customer would sit down and have to deal with it that way, until they get rather insurance money back and stuff like that, and then they can, if they wish, to rebook a order through me. But I'll make sure these units are correctly wrapped, well packaged, everything else, so everything is above board. But if you need to pay for extra wrapping and packaging for the larger units, it's going to have to be a charge from my end. Obviously, the wood and stuff like that isn't cheap at the moment. It's still skyrocketing the wood. So if it means building a custom crate for a large unit, then it means building a custom crate. Now, a few guidelines have been given for wrapping and palleting the units. Nothing's really changed of what I'm doing. So if they are being mistreated or damaged, it's because they just don't really care. And it has really got us down lately. It's really threw a spanner in the works, but I've been cracking on. Things are going all right. I'm getting units built and stuff. I've got a couple to start this week. This one is basically finished. I'm just waiting on the drive. One of the drives to clone, then I can get the OS drive cloned for this. I don't have a spare PC at the moment. Everything's cloning. So that one's nearly basically done. This one here is done. I'll just do a few final tests before it goes, but I am just waiting on those bolt tops. Once those bolt tops come, I can get some nice pictures taken, just do a final check, test the Wii controllers again, just to make sure everything's working correctly. So yeah, shipping options are going to change. They're going to change around the liability. I'm happy to build these units, send them out the door once I leave the shop. I don't want to have to be reliable of how these turn up. I'll try my best to make them protected as much as I can, as much as possibly I can, all above board type stuff. But if they're mistreated, I don't really want to have to deal with a headache. I have been taking the hit in my pocket, basically. So, and I don't want to have to do that. I should have had a better policy put in place to start with, to be honest. But I have. I mean, I've lost quite a few grand in the past few months over silly little things going wrong in shipping. And these guys don't care. I think FedEx, one of the FedEx drivers left, even though it was clearly labeled on the box, it was left up on its side, and the guy just walked away from the door, left a $2.5 grand machine at the door. The customer managed to catch the unit before it fell or anything, you know. So that's the sort of stuff you're having to deal with. These guys just don't care. You know what I mean? Same with the last unit. Have the guy on video. The customer luckily had him on video, picking up the back of the machine. The machine was sent off, stood up, arrived lying on its back, and it was picked up from its back and then just slammed down onto its back. So any PC parts that were inside were no longer working. It was rattling around, so it was probably destroyed inside anyways before it arrived, but it doesn't help him slamming it down on its back. So the company that have literally screwed us over is SpeedShift. I've used them for years now, and they've been the most reliable out of what I've used in the past. I have had a few companies that just Joe blogs. These guys, they were a pain at sometimes, but most of my stuff went out okay, and it was fine. But I knew as soon as I called to put the claim in, they tried every which way to void the claim. I went all through the policies. Me and my partners read all through the policies. TNT even accepted that it was their fault. They asked me to ask them just to put in the claim, because it was booked through them. They wouldn't put in the claim, and literally I'm down four and a bit grand. Unfortunately as well for the customer, the current exchange rate from when they paid to when I've refunded them all the money and the shipping as well. I've refunded the shipping money as well, because I like to keep it good. Basically, a good. Yeah, to be honest, it's spangling me head. I like to keep cool with my customers, basically. So yeah, it went off. They got damaged. Tried putting in a claim. They literally told us they're not going to do anything about it. Now I had the guy that owns a business contact us over the weekend and says, "Oh, I hope we can sort this out and all this, and can you take a Google review down?" And I was like, "Look at dude, the way your staff's treated us, the way they've spoke to us, what you have done, there's no chance. I'd rather just take the loss." And then he had the cheek to say, "Oh, I was just going to advise you how you could package it better and stuff like this." And I'm not putting up with that crap. So put on a sub story of how he's been ill. I do this on my own. I don't have a team of people. So I was a bit peeved off about it, to be honest, that he even had the cheek to contact us and ask us to remove the review for him to just lecture us how I should package the units. So yeah, nah. It was well packaged. It was well strapped to that pallet. It was sent off in good nick. It was well marked up and everything else. There's no excuse. Even if it was laid down on its back or needed to be laid down on its back, it still doesn't excuse the damage. There shouldn't have been any exterior damage, especially internal damage. It's been slammed down. It was also taken off its original pallet and put on another, which I think maybe it's the forklifts come in too fast, picked it up, and the unit's tipped. It's happened before with one of these units. They've must have come in, lifted the unit up, and it's tipped forward. These are on large enough pallets, so it shouldn't tip, unless you're pulling it out fast. It's like anything that's quite tall, like these. If you throw in a forklift, lift it up and bring it out fast, it's top heavy, so it's just gonna tip forward. They're not careful with them at all. So that's where we're at. So watch out for a video coming. Like I say, I'm waiting on the gold ball tops. I don't want to take any pictures of this yet until I've got those gold ball tops on. It does look absolutely stunning from top to bottom, but I really want, for the website, the pictures of the ball tops on there. I can get a nice video done of this. I'll sit down and upload the video of that tonight. I do have some customers to call. I've got a ton of stuff to do. I've got to call across to Canada and sort something out in Canada. I've got to sit down with a customer as well, and go through a few little things. So I want to try and use the SHAR-KADE owners network a bit more, because if there is any issues, it usually seems to be little simple fixes and stuff people have the same issue of. So I want to, when I've got a bit of 5 minutes, I'm going to sit down, do some recordings, and just as simple little fixes need to be addressed. Now, customers that do have a SHAR-KADE unit as well, there is an issue with Dead Space 2. It's something to do with the keyboard. It was something to do with who was it? Electronic Arts, the way they made that game. It seems to be moving over to the left constantly. Now there is a fix for the first one, that has the same issue. There's a fix for that. I have a tutorial up on the SHAR-KADE owners network. But Dead Space 2 just won't fix. So that game needs to be removed. So I'll do a video as well how to remove a game. And I think there was 1 or 2 other titles that need to also be checked. But if you're a SHAR-KADE owner and you are joining the SHAR-KADE owners network, or you've attempted to join the page, you've got to personal messages, man. Say that you're attempting to join. Tell us who you are. I don't remember all my customers as well. I recognise names, but I don't know if I've actually bought one or just inquired. So just let us know your order date, your order number, and then I'll get you added to the SHAR-KADE Owners Network group. If you're not a SHAR-KADE owner and you're looking at buying, you won't get in the group until you've purchased the unit. So just make sure you contact us via Facebook. Send us a message. If you don't hear back from us for a few days, I'm busy. I am, like I say, this is the busiest I've ever been. Due to the delays on that 3-in-1 I was building, and that delayed us a bit because that was a big old machine. Then I had that other big machine, and then machines going wrong, and it's been never ending. And today my phone screen broke. My phone dropped and my phone screen broke. It's non-stop, but I'm just trying to stay positive, man. Things do go wrong, this is what happens, but I'm cracking on. This unit's finished, started last week. This unit's basically finished. That was started a few days ago, and I'm going to make a start on the next few units this week as well. So I've been working all these weekends, every weekend. I've not had a break. I've been working Monday to Sunday every week, just so I can catch up on everything, man. And you probably don't really want to hear about issues I do have, but it's good to let people know and be aware of these things. You know what I mean? Because these things can happen. It is what it is. I've been building these for quite a few years now, and this is, to be honest, this is probably the worst it's been when it comes to shipping issues. I just don't really know what's going on with the shippers themselves, but it is what it is. But I think extra precaution can't go wrong with packaging these machines. Like I say, it's an expensive bit of kit. If it costs you an extra few £100 for packaging it a bit extra to keep it a bit extra safe, then can't go wrong. I think one of the units, I did send a unit off with a blanket around, and I've seen a few arcade builders put blankets around these as well, so I might look into doing that as well, just to give it a bit extra cushion. But I mean, they are made out of melamine MDF. This is moisture resistant stuff. I haven't seen another company use the same stuff as me. So they're quite tough. It's more like a HDF hardboard stuff. It's quite tough MDF. So it can still be broke. If the weight of the top of that machine fell forward, it's going to damage the front of the machine there. It's going to damage it regardless. So if they get tipped or anything like that, if they're getting anything heavy knocks into them, it is going to damage the artwork. Even though it's laminated and it's a protective film, it's not made out of concrete, it's still going to get damaged. So these are the things you've got to be aware of. Some shippers don't care. Some of the lorry companies are okay. There's gardeners that come and collect. Them usually look after me stuff when them turn up. So this is it. I'll stop going on about shipping, but everyone's made aware of. Now, hopefully everyone sees this video and is aware that the terms and conditions of the shipment does change, because you can't expect us really to be taking a couple of grand hit each time. If they're insured properly, that's great, but I don't want to have to deal with 2 or 3 units or something sitting there 3-4 hours on the phone, which I've had done, and me nearly to the point of screaming down the phone at them to try and get this insurance sorted. I don't want to have to deal with that. I just want to build cool machines for people. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos, hit that notification bell, and I will catch us in the next one. See you later. Bye.